Hey guys, welcome to the Hindu Editorial discussion. Today the date is 26th of June 2017 and the discussion is also available in Hindi. So guys, let's see what the articles we are going to discuss is legislature breach of privileges. Recently, Karnataka legislature has, abducted two-person for its breach of privileges. So the article is raising issue that whether the legislature is having so much power and what are such power which are need to be curtailed, right? So we'll just discuss on that very holistically. Next is smart city. So they are discussing that the criteria in which our smart cities are selected are those good, and what are the different things are needed to make this mission more fruitful, right? So we'll discuss that also. Next is India US relation. Our Prime Minister Modi is in the tour of US now, so these news will pop up in few days, and this will continue. So let's see what are the things discussed. We'll discuss it in the article itself, right? Next is cricket crisis. This is also a very good article, and they are just telling that there is impending crisis in cricket. What are those crises and what needs to be done so that those crises can be mitigated. All right, so let's see the very first article, guys. It's I'm discussing the main matter first. The main matter is Karnataka Assembly has passed a resolution in which the editors of two tabloid has been sentenced with 1 term prison and 10,000 rupees fine because they have criticized that Karnataka legislature, right? So the article is raising issue whether the legislature must not invoke power to punish for the breach of privileges. Means legislature shouldn't have that much power to invoke anyone for the breach of privileges. Now let's see the constitutional provision. What are the being there mentioned in constitution, right? See, according to the constitution, there are few legislative powers which are being given to those every legislature, right? So what those power are for? Those power are for protecting the freedom of speech and expression of the house, and at the same time, if something is something is there as roadblock in the functioning of the legislature, so due to undue influence and pressure, so in that case what the legislature can do is they can revoke any person. I mean, they can punish any person for the breach of privileges, right? So what is the case? Basically what put forth here is those editors what they did was they raised question about the image of house and the few of the individual members, right? So the house has said that no, these two people have done the breach of privileges. All right, so what the article is demanding now? Article is demanding to codify the law of the legislative privileges. See, whatever the law is being there right now, those are not being codified, due to which the house is getting the freedom to decide that whether they should apply contempt charges on them or not. So this freedom should be with judiciary, but this freedom is now with legislature. That's why the article is asking for the codification of law. At the same time, actions should not be taken to any person unless they do something which results to obstruct in the functioning of house. All right, and there must be a law which protects the independence of house, not to take away the liberty of critics. I mean, there must be a law which is taking away the independence of house, which is there, but they are taking it to their undue advantage, and they are punishing persons for any persons who are criticizing them, right? So at the same time, article is also asking to higher judiciary to lay down certain provisions which actually defines what the breach of privilege is. Means there is just asking the either Supreme Court or High Court to make some rules out of it, right? Guys, in the next article, they have talked about the smart cities. They are just telling that the provisions of the smart cities are not good, and I mean the criteria in which the smart cities are selected are based on very are not based on the criteria which actually is demanded in smart cities, basically. So let's see what the smart city actually demands. There, see, the smart cities always demand for very good things, right? Like e-transportation, e-government, Wi-Fi, mobility, then strategic planning, then engaging the residents, then policy making, cyber defense. Everything means in terms, right? In electronic terms, mainly in electronic terms. But what the real picture being put forth in the article is that the winning cities, whosoever has been won the proposal of smart cities just before 1 or 2 days, so they the proposal what they made, due to which they won the a smart city race, is affordable housing, new schools and hospitals, and road. See, the proposal they kept was affordable housing, new schools, hospital, and roads. And what the actually smart city definition demands is everything: e-transportation, e-government, Wi-Fi, mobility. Means you can just clearly make out that what actually is the lacuna where the smart city stands as of now. What is the actual definition? Means what the definition which India is put forth about the smart cities, right? So article is also telling that state and local legislature don't have that much data in ground level to analyze that what are the evolving needs of the communities at different sections, right? So, and this is about the real picture what has been kept in article. Now the approach to smart cities what Indian government is using is the center is coordinating as a special purpose vehicle and carrying out these activities, right? Means center is forming a special purpose vehicle, then carrying out the activities of smart cities, whatever, है ना? But the way forward approach, whatever has been given in the article, is based on the case study which has been taken from the Chicago, right? So in Chicago also they just aspired for smart cities. So for that aspiration they collected real-time information on air quality, transport, pedestrian movement, and standing water. After getting real quality data, they have given approval for that smart cities, right? But in Indian government this is not the case. We are just asking for new school, then affordable housing. This is not the actual definition what actually smart cities is demanding for, right? So the article has put few of the way forward things. We'll see that article is asking for the government to use of sensors, right? Different sensors and mobile application to collect data for the flow of vehicle, pedestrians, means after collecting data they are telling that if we are getting the real-time data on those things, then we can compile those data, and citizen themselves can analyze that what the city administration should make decision about them, and it will also become transparent and accountable. All right, so this is a very very good point, guys. You can very surely write it in your analysis, whatever is, if you are analyzing any questions relating to smart cities. Guys, in next article they are discussing about the India-US relation, and article is telling that there is an opportunity to shape President Donald Trump's basic views on Pakistan. I mean, this article is asking for our Prime Minister Narendra Modi to to change the Trump's views on Pakistan, all right, and make it in our favor, right? So let's see. The article is mentioning the past 6 months after Donald Trump taking his administration, what are the radical changes that took place. See, Donald Trump has a radical and nationalist approach, due to which there are a few things which have have a major impact on our relations, like visas for skilled workers, HIB and L1 visas. They have restricted, they have put some provisions on that. Then they have backed out from the climate change policy. Then Iran policy is also not good, because US has put sanctions on Iran, which is which is not good for India, because India is continuing its relation with Iran in the name of Farzad B natural gas plant, then international north-south trade corridor, then we are importing and oil from there. So that's not good for us, right? So article is mentioning few of the relationship between India and US in the past, that we had a very good mass and momentum. Our relationship has a very good mass and momentum, and recently few things have been observed out of that like the State Department of US has allowed for the 2 billion sale of 2 dozen Predator drone, which is augmenting the India's Navy's capability, right? So article is asking that see, these type of soft and hard power, so Indian government must take the benefit of these soft and hard power to talk on such sensitive platforms like Iran, Iran issue, they can keep that, okay, you are having good bad relations with Iran, but don't compel us to make bad relation with Iran, because we have strategic interest with Iran also, right? So this is what the article is putting for. This is a very good article, in fact. And also they're telling that the joint working group on aircraft carrier technology is there between India and US, which India can take the benefit, and they can augment their technology transfer thing. I mean, technologically India can also improve out of US thing. So article is they have highlighted few things, like US relation with Saudi and China is highlighted to the main extent, because see, earlier the US, when Donald Trump was doing his election campaign, then US policy to China was not that good, but now it's being observed that China and US have succeeded in in making the US President Donald Trump's priority towards themselves, right? How? See, in case of China, China has they have talked with North Korea regarding their nuclear program, right, on the appeal of US. That's why US is now having a soft pedal on South China Sea also. You will not see any news related to it, right? Earlier there used to be a UN cry about South China Sea, but now there is no news. Means that matter is very in cold storage, right? So this is the achievement of China only, right? So China has managed to achieve that and moderate the Trump's hostility. And in case of Saudi Arabia also, that Trump support on economic and diplomatic assault on Qatar, means Saudi has applied that impose a few restrictions on Qatar, and he has gained the support of Trump also. And Trump is also supporting against the military operations against IS, because in West Asia is very important strategically for everybody, right? That's why Saudi is gaining support of Trump there also, right? So the South Asian matrix, though the article is about the India Pakistan thing, but the South Asian matrix is not that good, like it's not being highlighted to much extent. Anyways, we'll see that there the article is asking that the Obama administration sympathetic approach must be continued, and on that that approach Modi must change. Modi must ask for Trump to change the basic view of Trump against Pakistan, and ask US not to support Pakistan to that much extent, because they are supporting Pakistan militarily, economically also, which Pakistan is using against India. So the article is asking about that only. Guys, the next article is about the Supreme Court's cricket crisis, basically, because the Supreme Court, that they have appointed Lodha as with the recommendation of Lodha committee, they have brought some changes in the Indian cricket structure. So now the article is asking that they have brought these Lodha committee reform on the name of lapse in ethics, whatever was being happening in the cricket, and conflict of interest, whatever was being there in cricket earlier. But now the thing has been backfired, right? And you can see the recent controversies between the coach and captain Kumble and Kohli. Then resignation of one of its administration recently, Ramchandra Guha has resigned from there. So that has brought a crisis in it. So what is the impending crisis that has been put forth in this article is that Indian cricket now faces a crisis of leadership and confidence. Yes, I've already discussed. So the Supreme Court is already mulling a petition across the numerous sport asking for the Lodha committee reform to be adopted. Means Supreme Court, though he has implied the Lodha committee reform in cricket, but his Supreme Court is asking other sports federation also to imply the Lodha committee reform. See, Lodha committee reform in cricket has failed, and if that will be employed in other sector also, then other sport federation will also fail, right? So there is a danger of domino effect, right? That's why the article is telling that there is a way ahead. Instead of these reforms, there must be negotiated reforms with the state association. Means whatever the state association is being carrying out, we should be with them only, and with them we should see the possibility of negotiations, right, and bring some very good reforms if possible, right? So this was all about it, guys. So we'll meet in next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.